Temperature at report time, 75 degrees. Student protests in the nation today brought death to an Ohio campus. 4 students, 2 girls and 2 boys, were shot to death in a battle between National Guardsmen and student rioters at Kent State University. There are conflicting stories on what happened. The bloody struggle also left 15 students and 2 guardsmen wounded or injured. The shooting began after anti-war demonstrators held a rally in defiance of orders. Guardsmen broke up the first rally with tear gas, then about 3,000 students formed up again and confronted about 300 troops on the football field near the campus commons. The students threw rocks and tossed back tear gas containers lobbed at them by the guard. Frederick Winger, Assistant Adjutant General of Ohio, says the troops opened fire after snipers began firing at them. But a student told 2020 News,
just turned around and just started firing at everybody. And the people standing next to me, everyone thought it was blanks. And then a person about 8 feet away from me got shot. And so then I dove for the ground. Then when I got up, four people in my immediate area were shot.
Notified of the killings, President Nixon said it should convince people, in his words, when dissident turns to violence, it invites tragedy. The state's first heart transplant patient lost his fight for life today. That story next on WTIX.
If he kissed you once, will he kiss you again? Will he kiss you again? If he kissed you once, will he kiss you again? Oh, you better be certain with certs.
Have a search. It's a great tasting candy mint.
Great breath mint, too.
Right. It's 2. 2 mints in 1.
Certs is the delicious candy mint that stops bad breath because it contains a sparkling drop of Retsin, the miracle breath purifier. Perfect breath mint, delicious candy mint. Certs is 2 mints in 1.
If he kissed you once, will he kiss you again? Oh, you better be certain with certs.
Louisiana's first heart transplant recipient, 52-year-old William Isaac Taylor of Metairie, died this afternoon at Ochsner Foundation Hospital here in New Orleans. Hospital spokesman told 2020 News,
Mr. Taylor died at 2:30 today. The apparent cause of death was a massive respiratory infection as a secondary complication to the pneumonia difficulties he had previously had. His heart function, ironically, was very satisfactory right up to the end.
Taylor was the world's 152nd heart transplant recipient when he received the heart of a 36-year-old woman January 8th. His death leaves 20 heart recipients still living. He had been released from the hospital twice, but returned with pneumonia twice, the last time last month. A new mayor for the Crescent City, 39-year-old Moon Landrieu, was sworn into office in ceremonies outside City Hall this afternoon, along with 7 city councilmen. In a brief inaugural address, Landrieu called for unification of the city.
We have become a city confused and divided, uncertain of our future, and almost fatally paralyzed by the idea that New Orleans has no faith in the future. We hope to inspire this city to rebuild its faith in itself, to rebuild its pride and determination, to encourage it to thirst for excellence.
Landrieu expressed his determination to provide opportunities and justice for all races and creeds in the city.
Let us create a city where neither the choice of religion nor the accident of color are obstacles to opportunity advancement, nor a substitute for effort and ability.
He said that New Orleans is a city in crisis, a city at the crossroads. He stated people do not doubt New Orleans' capacity to reclaim its position as one of the great cities of the world, but many people, Landrieu said, question whether we have the desire to do so. And he stressed doing so now.
The youth of today live by a line that I find very appropriate this afternoon. And that line is this: today is the first day of the rest of our lives.
Mayor of New Orleans, Moon Landrieu. The McKithen administration says it will ask the legislature for an increase of $102 million in state spending for the coming year. The proposed increase was contained in the 1970-71 state budget released by McKithen's chief fiscal advisor, W.W. McDougall. The overall state budget totals just over $1.7 billion, including federal and state funds. The figure is more than $200 million above the administration's first budget proposal and closely follows the recommendations of the Legislative Budget Committee. But in one way it differs from the Budget Committee, and that's in respect to LSUNO. The school will be getting more money. David Lawrence has that story.
In the final form of its proposed state budget, the McKithen administration has recommended that the New Orleans branch of Louisiana State University be allocated $10.4 million next year. This is $500,000 more than the Legislative Budget Committee had earlier recommended.